large crowd here. Is there anyone in here that's not on the agenda that would like to speak at this time? Judy. Robert.
Give us your name.
I'm Ronnie Lanville and have been a resident of Lincoln County all my life. I've never been one to get into politics, but I've always listened to the candidates and have voted for the person I felt would do the best job for our country, our state, and our county. Mr. Vance, when Mr. Vance ran for commissioner, I voted for him. Now I have a question for Mr. Vance. I want to know if the 11 people you stated to the media is really dead or alive.
On the two occasions that I give these lists of names to the prosecuting attorney and the Secretary of State's office, both times I said what I said to the media, and that this was an incomplete list of names, that I recognize names that match names of patients that had died. And I've said that with every time I've talked about this issue.
Okay.
I also made comment that I did not have the addresses or birth dates of those people.
Okay.
And so, you know, I was doing what I thought was right and bringing what I felt was an inconsistency to light.
Okay. May the 18th, 2010, Lincoln County Journal. Charles Vance told the Lincoln County Journal, I was amazed when I went over the names of those people who I requested absentee ballots. I saw 11 names of people that I personally knew. Now catch that I personally knew. You said you was in doubt, didn't you?
That article you're referring to is inaccurate. There are several misstatements.
Well,
in the article.
why did you make the statement it was inaccurate?
I didn't make that statement.
The Lincoln Journal says you did.
I know, and they made several comments about other statements that I made, including having a death certificate on one of the patients that was not true.
Mr. McCain, the people that was dead, have they been found alive?
First of all, I don't think it's ever dead.
Okay. There you go. So, they're alive. What you're saying is, you made a false statement.
The three people that I told the Secretary of State's office and the prosecuting attorney that I knew personally that had the name of the person that had died, I still stand with that. I have three patients.
Who are they?
I do not have them. I did never have the address or the birth date of those patients' names. And I've always made it clear when I talked about those names that I did not have that available to me. It was my understanding that the prosecutor was supposed to confirm or deny. But the three names that I give the Secretary of State's office, the first three names on the list, and the three names that I give the prosecutor's office are all passed away and have those names.
Normally, when I go to the doctor, the first thing they ask me is my name, if you've got insurance. Do you do that as a doctor?
I don't ask anybody about their insurance.
What about their names?
I do know people's names. That's what I'm saying. I do not dispute the prosecutor at all and what his findings are. I appreciate him looking those names up. I really do. My concern was that those names were the names of patients and people that I knew there that had passed away. I never did and never will make the claim that those were the ones that were on that list. I said they did have names that were like that.
Now, where'd you see these names at?
It was on a list of it was a partial list of requests for absentee ballots and early voting.
Okay. You said I've shared the information with the proper authorities. Vance also said I must do everything possible to protect the progress and assure every Lincoln County of an honest count.
I agree with that.
Did you do it?
I'm trying to. We're working on this count.
Okay. If the 11 people are alive and well, why would you make a statement without knowing all the facts that 3 got? You don't have facts on those 3, do you?
Here's the thing that you're reacting to is the stories in the paper and the stories. And let me tell you,
Okay, go
as
ahead.
I have said before, when I give out those names, I said these top 3 names, and this was to the Secretary of State's representative and to the prosecuting attorney, that these first 3 names are the same names of people I know that are passed away. I did not say these are the names of people on those ballot requests. I said it's my duty in supervising or working with this election to make sure that anything that might have gone wrong is brought to light. And I did not say those were the people that voted. I did not say they were the people that requested. I agree with the comment Mr. McCann's made before, that if you don't have the addresses and the locale, how can you know who they are? And I've never said these are people that done that. What I said was I know of 3 people, the first 3 people on this list that are passed away that have those names. And I never did say I knew their birth dates. I never said that I knew their addresses. And I've always made comment upon that. My concern is over 800 early absentee ballot applications and over 200 of them not returned. That's our problem. That's where it needs to be looked into. And I'm doing everything that I can do to make sure that's looked into. But I don't make false statements. I don't lie to people. And I don't ever
Well, I think
plan
you
on
did.
doing it. Well, I think there's people that would I mean, as I've said before, part of the articles you're reading have statements in them that I did not make.
Well, how did these people, how did the news media, and I respect the news media, I respect them greatly, how did they get this information? They're not going to come out here and just make up something on you. You're going to have to tell it to them. How did they get this
I'll
information?
stand by if you all listen to anything I've said to the TV or radio, anything I've said at that time, I'll stand by it. Anything that's been printed that you haven't heard me say, I question some of it. There are statements made in print that I did not make. But if you talk to any of the people that I've talked to on the radio or the television, review whatever tapes they have, you'll see what I'm saying is what I've always said. And that those 3 names match the names of 3 patients that I know to be dead. I did not say there were people that requested absentee. I said there was a possibility that could be an explanation for the high number of absentee ballots.
You know, Mr. Vance, I was over to Walmart the other day, and it's a shame that people thinks about this county as, are you voting dead people? When's it dead? And it all started when you made this statement.
No, you know, ever since
Oh, yes, sir.
I've grown
It
up
all
here,
started when you made this statement.
I've been here all my life. And
I
they
have
talk
too.
about voting dead people here all my life, in every election. Anybody that's here knows that.
Was the election honest when you was elected?
During my election in 2006, Mr. Priestley ran against me. It was almost a 50-50 on early voting, on election day, and on absentee. You can go back and look it up. I won by 17 votes. That shows how fair it was. You had the election results, the people went and voted that day, was exactly what the early vote count was exactly what the absentee, the way they voted. The differential was very similar in all those races. Now, in the next election, you had problems that developed with the absentee votes, being overwhelmingly in one direction. And in this election, you did too. Now, these 3 people that I know are dead, I'm glad they're not the ones that requested
Why don't you present their
absentee
names or something?
ballots.
Or proof?
I've given those names to the
But
prosecuting
we'd like to
attorney.
know, is it something that is secret, or?
No, they're in the obituaries. You can look in obituaries. All the names that I give the prosecuting attorney are names of people in obituaries.